Hii maswali yote ni ya nini? Alikuwa labda amekuja kutujulia hali mimi na kama wangu. Na tena saa hii ni masaa ya kazi. Mimi sitaki tu yoyote.
So umeonana kama?
Gren! Kuna kazi mingi sana imenigoja. Acha kunisubua.
Cheki. Sasa inaweza kani kana nataka umbea lakini kuna kitu nataka nijue.
Kabla uanze hiyo bea yako, unapenda chai ya majani ama unapenda ya drinking chocolate?
Ni nini unataka kuniambia?
Gren, nakumbuka nikikopia vizuri sana. Yaani mama Jazz alikuwa anaenda kwetu nikamwambia kama wewe yuko.
So alikuwa anataka kuongea na Kamau specifically.
Unajua Gren, kuna kitu mimi sitaki kufanya. Sitaki kuingilia mambo ya familia yenu kabisa hata kidogo, no.
And that's a wise thing. Mama Eunice, respect.
Unajua nikiingilia mambo ya kwenu, mimi ndio naumiaga. Yaani either Kamau afurutwe kazi, alafu tena tuanze kuishi maisha ya madeni. Yaani mimi sitaki hivyo.
I agree. Lakini unajua Nancy si mtu mpoa.
Huyo mama ni pepo baya. Pole, juu ni wa familia yenu. Lakini huyo mama hakuwage mzuri hata kidogo. Yaani anaga roho ya utu.
Ni poa najua hivyo. Lakini kuna kitu ungependa nifanyie. Kama Nancy aliongea na Kama, I would like for you to find out what they talked about. Alafu niambie.
Alafu sasa?
Alafu aje?
Okay, unajua kitu moja nimekuja kugundua, nyinyi watu hiyo familia yenu mnakuaga the same. Nyinyi wote.
Excuse me?
Yaani unataka kumaanisha hakuna kitu umesikia nimesema hapo? Hi guys. Hi Tiff.
Okay, what's with the awkward silence? Mayuni, please take for me this in my room.
Okay, sawa.
This weekend on KBC Channel 1.
Welcome to the party. I am making my own creations to help me capture the Smurfs. Hello! I call them...
Hello, kitty.
The Naughties. Deeply disappointing experiments. Nothing can stop me now!
Master, let me get Smurfette. I'm going in! You can do it! Gotcha!
Oh no! They're taking Smurfette!
So long, Smurf! Let's go!
This weekend on KBC Channel 1.
For me, the breaking point was when I had to travel back. Things were not well defined. I come back and they're still reaching out. Can you reach out? Can we talk about the wedding plans? Hey, which one?
A woman who will not, they don't even want to discuss the future. Even a small issue like how many children do you want to have?
How can two people work together unless they have agreed to do so? The way you are just told, "Auko Liza."
Jumapili hii kwenye runinga ya KBC, ungana naye Askofu Michael Wanderi wa kanisa la Christian Foundation Fellowship Kiambu kuanzia saa 1 hadi saa 2 asubuhi.
Ningetaka nikwambie, our Jehovah God, because the Bible says he is the same yesterday, today and forevermore. He is able to take you to a place of abundance. He is able to take you to Rehoboth in the name of Jesus Christ.
Kipindi ni neno la neema ukiletewa naye Askofu Michael Wanderi wa kanisa la Christian Foundation Fellowship Kiambu. Usikose.
My trust is in you.
It's the 19th of February 2021. Good evening. Thank you for joining us on this edition of Channel 1 Weekend. I hope you had yourself a lovely week. My name is Purity Museo, and part of what we have prepared for you tonight, President Uhuru Kenyatta was today in Dandora and Kayole, where as he was inspecting the development projects by the Nairobi Metropolitan Services, he also took the time to drum up support for the building bridges initiative. So far, 11 counties have okayed this report, and Baringo County says no. While we are at that, the country is witnessing rising cases of fatalities linked to COVID-19 complications. Just yesterday and today alone, 12 people have succumbed to the deadly disease. I hope you are still washing your hands and putting on the mask and sanitizing. Here are the highlights. President Uhuru Kenyatta drums up support for BBI as Kayole plays host to the head of state Friday. Newly appointed Chief Administrative Secretaries take oath of office, urged to prioritize government projects under their dockets. And Deputy President William Ruto shares a platform with his political rival Baringo Senator Gideon Moi at a burial in Baringo. Both avoid politics of confrontation. A very warm welcome to the broadcast. Lucy Mwara is our sign language interpreter tonight at Purity_Museo, and at KBC Channel 1 News. The hashtag is Channel 1 Weekend. Channel 1 Weekend begins right now. President Uhuru Kenyatta has drummed up support for the BBI Constitutional Amendment Bill 2020, reiterating its proposals will particularly transform the economic fortunes of ordinary Kenyans. The head of state faulted opponents of the Building Bridges initiative, saying they are not offering tangible solutions to problems facing the majority of Kenyans. He was speaking during a tour of development projects implemented by the Nairobi Metropolitan Services in Kayole and Dandora areas.
On Friday afternoon, President Uhuru Kenyatta visited Kayole and Dandora in Embakasi East constituency, Nairobi. In Kayole, the head of state officially opened the Soweto Kayole Health Center, which is a level 2 hospital and community water supply projects. It is here that he urged Kenyans to make informed decisions and avoid being hoodwinked by empty promises. According to the president, some of the promises being made by opponents of the Building Bridges initiative only amount to falsehoods.
Sisi kama tunaweza tushirikiane kama Wakenya, kama tunaweza tupendane kama Wakenya, kama tunaweza kutatua shida zetu kwa kuongea, hakuna lolote ambalo hatutaweza kutimiza pamoja. Lakini tukiwa watu ambao wanataka kuchimbana, watu ambao wanataka kugawanya wananchi kwa mirengo mbalimbali, Hiyo ni vita inatuletea na umwagikaji wa damu.
The head of state rallying Kenyans to support BBI, saying it is the only way to guarantee lasting peace and unity.
Na tunasema BBI ndio pesa mashinani iongezeke. Si ni namna hiyo? Na ndio kama ni viongozi wenu wa mashinani wawe na ward fund. Ndio barabara kama hizi isiwe ni ya kwenda kutengenezewa kule maofisi kubwa.
President Kenyatta further assured Kenyans his handshake with opposition leader Raila Odinga was beneficial to the country.
Ndipo mnaona mimi natafuta viongozi wa tabaka mbalimbali. Na mimi nawaambia njooni tuketi. Njooni tufanye pamoja. Kwa sababu jukumu yetu sio yetu, jukumu yetu ni kufanyia wananchi haki yao. Na hatuwezi kufanya hiyo tukitengana. Na ndipo mnaona mimi nikienda kutafuta handshake. Ndio Nairobi iwe na amani, wananchi waishi pamoja.
During his tour of Dandora, the head of state unveiled the new Luku Shirika Level 2 hospital. Ben Chumba, reporting for Channel 1 News.
Also, President Uhuru Kenyatta has told newly appointed chief administrative secretaries to prioritize completion of ongoing national government projects in their respective dockets. The head of state further advised the newly appointees to embrace teamwork in advancing the government agenda.
Speaking at State House, Nairobi on Friday during the swearing of 9 newly appointed chief administrative secretaries, President Uhuru Kenyatta has called on the newly appointed chief administrative secretaries to work together to ensure all government projects are completed.
We have a big job and a big task ahead of us. A task that we have already embarked on, and as I was telling the colleagues that you're going to join yesterday, I am looking forward to fast-tracking that work, and that is why it was thought necessary that to assist the ministers and existing CASs to fast-track, to complete some of the programs and projects that we have already started, that we need to give them additional support. Yeah?
The new CAS are Eric Simiyu, Wafoko, Ministry of National Treasury and Planning; Jackson Museo Kakala, Ministry of Labor and Social Protection; Lawrence Angolo Omuhaka, Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries and Cooperatives; Professor Japheth Ntiba Micheni, State Law Office and Department of Justice; David Osiani, Minister of Industrialization, Trade and Enterprise Development; Dr. Sarah Ruto, Minister of Education; Zachary Oyeko, Minister of Energy; Alex Mburi Muiru, Minister of Lands and Physical Planning; Beatrice Elachi, Minister of Public Service and Gender.
I am looking forward to you also supporting me to be able to deliver on my agenda for the people and the Republic of Kenya. And mine is to wish you God's blessings and success as you embark on your duties, and to encourage you that if you walk alone, you may walk fast, but if you walk together, we shall go far.
Head of Public Service, Dr. Joseph Kinyua, conducted the swearing-in ceremony.
And Deputy President Dr. William Ruto has called on Kenyans to shun leaders who belittle others due to their status in the society, saying Kenyans can have a nation where all of the people can achieve their dreams. Speaking when he paid tribute to the former powerful KANU politician Hosea Mundui Kiplagat, the Deputy President said that it's time Kenyans elected leaders based on development programs and not because of their tribes.
Deputy President William Ruto led a host of elected leaders as well as leaders from across the country to pay their last respects to the former powerful politician Hosea Kiplagat, who was laid to rest today at his home in Cheplambos, Tenges in Baringo County. In a burial ceremony that brought together Ruto and his political adversary, KANU Chairman Gideon Moi, the expected political confrontation between the two failed to materialize after the two leaders gave the 2022 succession politics a wide berth. Ruto instead dwelled on how the late Kiplagat paved way for his political rise by connecting him with the late former President Moi.
Mwenye kuanzisha hiyo urafiki ndio niweze kupata network ya kufanya kazi na Rais Moi ni huyu Hosea. And that is why I am here to celebrate his life because he made a difference in my political life.
Ruto said Kiplagat's life journey was a testimony that one can start life from nowhere but end up in big places through hard work. He urged locals to shun leaders who belittle others due to their status in society.
Vile Hosea huyu alitoka mahali padogo, akafanya kazi ndogo ndogo ya kuuza ngozi na kuuza samaki mpaka akawa mtu. Wale wengine wamebakia hapa Cheblambus na sehemu zingine za Kenya. Hata na wao tunaweza kwa njia kupitia mpango ya serikali kuwapatia uwezo wa kuwa na matumaini, ili tukimwona mtu pale ambaye ametoka mahali padogo na amepata mali kama vile Hosea amepata, tusianze kuwaita wezi.
Meanwhile, Wiper Democratic Movement leader Kalonzo Musyoka says the newly formed sacred alliance between him, Musalia Mudavadi, Gideon Moi and Moses Wetangula is determined to take the leadership of this country come 2022. Kalonzo, while responding to Deputy President William Ruto's criticism, advised him to stop panicking over the alliance, which he says will attract more leaders going forward.
Walipoona mimi na Mudavadi na Weta na Gideon Moi, watu wamepatwa na tumbo baridi. Tuonyesheni wa leaders. Sasa pilipili usioila ya kuasha nini? And we will be talking. It is even good for him, because when he ends up as official leader of the opposition, BBI will have looked after him.
Suleiman Yeri, Channel 1 News.
To the COVID-19 story, the country has lost 12 patients of COVID-19 in a span of 2 days. 6 more patients succumbed to the disease in the last 24 hours. So far, 1,813 people have lost their lives from COVID-19, and since the first case was reported in March last year. The coronavirus positivity rate, however, dropped to 4.6% on Friday after 226 people tested positive for the novel coronavirus from 4,606 samples screened. 75 patients were discharged from various hospitals after making full recovery, pushing the recoveries tally to 85,512. Nairobi County still has the highest number of daily infections with 142 new cases. Kiambu County has 16, Nakuru 14, Machakos and Uasin Gishu 9 cases each. Laikipia has 6 cases, Mombasa 5, Meru and Nyeri 3 cases each. Bomet, Elgeyo Marakwet, Garissa, Kajiado, Kilifi, Kwale, Turkana have 2 cases each, while Narok, Nyamira, Trans Nzoia, Kakamega and Kericho reported single cases in the last 24 hours. So tell us where you tuned in from at Purity_Museo and at KBC Channel 1 News. We are live on Facebook and YouTube. I'll be going through your feedback after this break and during this broadcast. Let's have a break and then we are back shortly. Stay with us.
Malaria ni ugonjwa hatari sana unaoua watu wengi hapa Kenya. Japo kuko na corona, hatari ya malaria bado iko. Mtoto huyu alikuwa na joto jingi, kutetemeka, kuumwa na viungo na uchovu. Alikimbizwa hospitali ya umma ambako sheria za COVID-19 huzingatiwa na ni salama kwa shughuli ya upimaji. Vipimo vilionyesha kuwa ana malaria, na papo hapo daktari akampa dawa za malaria na kumshauri azimalize, na ili kujikinga wawe wakilala ndani ya neti iliyotibiwa. Malaria husambazwa na mbu. Walio hatarini ni watoto wa chini ya miaka 5 na akina mama wajawazito. Kupimwa na kutibiwa ni bure katika hospitali zote za umma. Usisahau adui malaria. Zero malaria huanza na mimi. Chukua jukumu leo. Komesha malaria. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwenu na Wizara ya Afya.
Leo ni ile siku ya double kwenye quickbit.co.ke. Tunakupa home theater na fridge.
Kama unataka home theater ni rahisi sana. Enda kwenye lipa na M-Pesa. Paybill number ekelea 4032353. 4032353. Account ekelea HT kama kodi ya home theater, fuatanisha na unique number.
Kama unataka fridge wekelea CM ndio kodi ya fridge, kisha fuatanisha na shilingi 20 peke yake. Wekelea pin yako na hivyo ndivyo utakuwa umekelea bid kwenye quickbid.co.ke. Bidhaa bora kwenye bei ya nini?
Chini kwa chini. Chini kwa chini.
Jiunga na Quickbid ni rahisi. Enda kwenye M-Pesa, bonyeza paybill kisha weka business number 4032353. Kwenye account weka kodi ya bidhaa unayotaka na bid yako ya chini zaidi. Kwa mfano TV 16, kisha weka shilingi 20 tu kama idadi yako. Weka bid yako pia kwenye www.quickbid.co.ke. Kumbuka, bid ya chini zaidi ya kipekee ndio ununua. Quickbid, bidhaa bora kwa bei ya chini.
This weekend on KBC.
Wiki hii kwenye Mkulima tumekuandalia kemkem kwa upande wa kilimo na ufugaji.
Jua hizi machakula kama maduka tunanunua ziko na chemicals mingi. Lakini mimi najua ile natoa kwa shamba yangu vile iko. Haina chemicals, haina nini.
Basi usikose kujiunga na Mkulima wetu na kikosi kizima cha Mkulima hapa KBC Channel 1 kila Jumapili saa 9:30.
Thank you so much for staying with us. You're watching Channel 1 Weekend this Friday night. Lucy Mara is our sign language interpreter tonight. A total of 12 people, including civilians and military personnel, are currently under investigation over allegations of bribery in the just concluded nationwide Kenya Defence Forces recruitment exercise. Speaking during the official closing of the exercise, Vice Chief of the Defence Forces, Lieutenant General Levi Mugalu, said those found culpable will not be spared. A total of 4,000 recruits succeeded in the exercise and are scheduled to join military training in a date set to be published in local dailies.
The 14-day Kenya Defence Forces nationwide recruitment exercise came to a close Friday, seeing a total of 4,000 participants get recruited, among them 150 General Service Officer Cadets, 150 General Service Officer Cadets undergraduate degree holders, 3,550 General Duty recruits, and 150 Defence Forces constables from sub-county recruitment centres. However, the exercise did not fall short of corruption malpractices involving civilians and military personnel.
12 cases have since been reported involving civilians and military personnel, and remedial action is currently underway.
Those qualified are set to receive official calling letters from recruiting officers at the advertised recruiting centres, even as a stern warning is issued to those planning to use fake letters.
Anybody presenting themselves with letters from any other source will be arrested and prosecuted accordingly.
Drug abuse, mainly use of marijuana, has been reported as the major pullback among many participants who showed up at the recruitment centres. Vice Chair of the Defence Forces, Lieutenant General Levi Mugalu, has at the same time dismissed cases of gender discrimination, saying the percentage of women recruited has increased from 10% in 2018 to 12% this year. Kamchebenza for Channel 1 News.
In other news, the First Lady Margaret Kenyatta has launched celebrations to mark 100 years of the Kenya Girl Guides Association, KGGA. The First Lady commended the association for playing a crucial role in modeling girls and young women into responsible citizens. The launch of centennial festivities coincided with celebrations to mark this year's World Thinking Day held at the organization's headquarters in Nairobi.
First Lady Margaret Kenyatta noted the Kenya Girl Guides Association has instilled ethics to girls and young women that have become solid vehicles for wisdom, mentorship and progress.
The theme is both an appropriate and important component to the values of the Girl Guide movement, especially during this time shadowed by the COVID-19 pandemic.
Addressing participants via a video link, the First Lady expressed confidence on the movement, which is founded on 5 pillars of education, peace, health, environment, and economic empowerment, that will continue to inspire confidence and character of the Kenyan girls to be change agents in their communities.
As your patron, I have witnessed your determination to ensure that you embrace a spirit of inclusion.
In his remarks, ICT Innovation and Youth Cabinet Secretary Joe Musheru called on the youth to join Kenya's journey of transformation through participation in enhanced empowerment of girls and young women to boost good governance and the drive for a better society.
Youth empowerment programs, we can provide a platform for our young girls and women to speak, take appropriate action, and inspire belief that will have catalytic impact across the country through youth-led initiatives.
And KGGA is leaning on our commitment to provide pathways to earning and learning for young people and ensuring that opportunity gaps do not widen.
The ministry will continue to support KGGA in various activities through the annual grant.
In other news, a multi-agency committee involving state and county officials inaugurated to prepare for the Africity Summit 2021 says that all is set and ready for the summit that will be held in Kisumu. The event that is set to take place on the 16th to 20th of November 2021 in Mamboleo Showground will be a platform to grow not only Kisumu County but also the entire Lake Region economic bloc and Kenya at large. Speaking in Nairobi, Devolution Cabinet Secretary Eugene Wamalwa said the summit will bring together all the 47 counties to discuss the achievement made so far in devolution.
By 2050, half of the African population will be living in intermediary cities. So this is a preparation for the future. Urbanization being that future of developing the African continent. These cities will play a major role. And for us as Kenya also, we will be showcasing devolution and what we have been able to achieve in the last 8 years as a country.
All the county governments will actively participate in this conference and market this country to the rest of the world.
Also, the Kenya Film and Classification Board, in conjunction with Kazi Remote Limited, has today certified the first cohort of its 25 trainees drawn from over 400 applicants. The cohorts underwent a vigorous 5-week training, which targeted the youth with an interest in the film industry. For this and more stories in our County News Roundup.
Speaking at the ceremony, ICT Cabinet Secretary Joe Musheru challenged organization and production companies to be part of youth empowerment and job creation by outsourcing their digital works.
The sector will grow so that even when you come and invest your time in learning these skills, that those opportunities will be there. I'm glad to see that I have 2 KBC mics here as well as NTV. These are all places where you can be able to get now jobs and opportunities to transcribe, to capture.
Elsewhere, 2 dormitories at Nyamagwa Boys High School in Nyamache, Kisii County, have been razed down by fire.
Established where the fire started, and we believe that the security agencies will help us to investigate and find out what happened.
And 3 children were last night burned beyond recognition, while a 10-year-old girl survived by a whisker when a fire gutted down a family's house they were sleeping in at Ulore village in Siaya County. In Garissa, a visibly emotional director of public prosecution, Nordin Haji, could not hold back his tears as he thanked area residents for standing with the family as they mourn the death of his father, Senator Yusuf Haji. He vowed to complete all his late father's projects.
Here, each and every constituency in Garissa washukuru na kufanya project in honor of Museo.
Meanwhile, 7 recruits, 6 boys and 1 girl from Kangundo in Machakos County are set to join the Kenya Defence Forces after succeeding in the just concluded recruitment exercise.
Kulioneza waambia wasi lose hope na next time waombe it's God na wa believe in God na wa believe kila kitu inaweza kuwa possible na next time watapata hii chance.
The Kenya Scouts Association has embarked on a process to vet all leaders in an effort to curb unscrupulous people posing as the movement leaders.
Next month, we shall be calling all our scout leaders and we shall vet even the ones who have the life membership to ensure that we are dealing with the right people in this country.
Ruth Wamboy for Channel 1 News.
Right, and on the 26th of October last year, President Uhuru Kenyatta officially launched the Building Bridges Initiative report after the handshake with Raila Odinga on the 9th of March 2018. And right now, it's now the process of ensuring that counties have to first pass this bill before it's tabled before Parliament, and of course, before any referendum can be conducted. And so, this is what is happening. So far, 11 counties have okayed this report, and Siaya was the first county to vote yes to the report, and of course the latest, and then the second county was Kisumu, Homa Bay, Busia, West Pokot, Trans Nzoia, Kajiado, Kisii, Vihiga, Nairobi, Laikipia. But as you can see, the red color, Baringo County said no, they do not. The MCA said they are not subscribing to the details in the Building Bridges Initiative report. So we are still going to wait and see how many says yes or no, and of course it will determine whether it will proceed from the county government level to Parliament and then referendum. So that is the report that Channel 1 News will of course be bringing you up to speed when or after every discussions go on those county assemblies. We are now taking a short breather. Stay with us. Business News is up next. Business News. The National Assembly's Budget and Appropriations Committee Chairperson Kanini Kega says only ministries, departments and government agencies that have prudently utilized the monies allocated to them in the 2020 to 2021 financial year would be considered for more funding in the upcoming 2021 to 2022 financial year. The Kieni MP, his committee said rather in a meeting in Mombasa to discuss the prevailing economic situation in Kenya and areas that should be prioritized in the 2021-2022 budget. Here is our course reporter Michael Mandiga with the details.
The National Assembly's Budget and Appropriations Committee plans to involve the Office of the Auditor General to interrogate performance of government agencies, warning non-performing ones that it will not be business as usual.
The Auditor General's report, as adopted by Parliament, will form part and parcel of the budget making of the subsequent years. The ministries, the MDAs that will be performing well and they have unqualified report from the Auditor General will definitely be getting either an increase or whatever they want. The ministries or MDAs that have been getting the qualified report, disclaimer, and who have not utilized their resources properly, I can assure you, they will not get what they will be asking for.
The committee, as well as the liaison committee that are in Mombasa interrogating the draft of the year 2021-2022 budget, called on ministries, departments and government agencies to readjust their spending to reflect the prevailing economic circumstances.
The public debt is not rising exponentially. No, it's rising. And as you increase and improve your GDP, definitely the cost also goes up. It is one of the issues that, of course, we will discuss because when you are now doing the budgeting, you look at the revenue that you are getting as a country and also the deficit. And the deficit all the time is addressed through borrowing, whether domestically or also borrowing through concession.
The legislators called on agencies to work together on implementation of government's Big Four agenda.
Again, budget is about treasury. Parliament is about budget, right? In terms of allocating funds and the taxation. Yeah, that's what Parliament was created for. So if the core actor is not here, then it changes the whole thing. And it's not just a technical presentation by the director who can do it. We can do it for ourselves. It's about interrogating the policy, the thinking behind the issues. Why are we doing this? The issues you're asking about debt, where are we? Yeah, there's a new metric on debt. Perhaps we're probably not doing as badly when you now look at the cost, the growth adjusted, cost of debt.
The committee is expected to conclude their sessions on Saturday. The National Assembly Committee on Budget and Appropriations has refuted claims from the public that the Big Four agenda had stalled due to BBI. The Kanini Kega-led committee has categorically stated that the agenda is still on course. Reporting for Channel 1 News from Mombasa County, I'm Michael Mondiga.
Thanks, Michael. And pastoralists in arid and semi-arid areas have been urged to destock as the areas are expected to receive depressed rainfall in the coming months. The Meteorological Department Director Stella Aura says farmers in parts of northern and eastern Kenya should liaise with the Ministry of Agriculture to access drought-resistant seedlings in preparation for the planting season.
With the long rains fast approaching, herders in northern and eastern counties have been urged to reconsider destocking as the areas are expected to receive below average rainfall. According to the weatherman, the rainfall in the arid and semi-arid region will be suppressed this year, and the region should consider procuring seeds for fast maturing crops.
I urge us all to ensure that we plan our various activities in line with the weather and climate forecast, warnings, advisories, and alerts from Kenya Meteorological Department.
Pastoralist community will also have to plan for supplementary feeds and alternative sources of water, as depressed rains will affect pasture production.
Looking at the arid and semi-arid lands, where near average rainfall is expected, water scarcity and lack of pasture for domestic use and livestock are likely to be exacerbated due to the dry conditions experienced in the months of January and February 2021 in these areas.
However, the cost of living in the country is expected to stabilize, as above average rainfall is expected in the country's traditional food basket regions.
Agricultural counties of the Lake Victoria Basin, highlands west of the Rift Valley, the South and the Central Rift Valley, where enhanced rainfall is expected, the farming communities are advised to take advantage of the expected rains and maximize on crop yield through appropriate farming and land use management procedures.
The veterinary service has also been advised to start Rift Valley fever vaccinations in areas expected to experience flooding to prevent an outbreak.
Mainly it's vaccination and relocation of our livestock where possible. So they have a way of zoning so as to ensure that there is no outbreak that goes beyond control.
Tanzania and Uganda, which are Kenya's key food import nations, are expected to have above average rainfall over the same period. Benson Rioba reporting for Channel 1 Business.
Narok County government has been challenged to prioritize the development of the Masai Mara ecosystem management plan that will help reduce the rampant human-wildlife conflict. Tourism Cabinet Secretary Najib Balala says increased human activities around the National Reserve have led to a surge in human-wildlife conflict incidents that are a risk to the reserve.
The Masai Mara Game Reserve is renowned for the wild beast migration, which is listed as the 8th wonder of the world. The Game Reserve is, however, threatened by increased human activities. The Tourism Ministry is concerned that the delay in developing an ecosystem management plan for the Mara is putting the Game Reserve and conservancies in the area at risk.
If we don't do the management plan for Masai Mara Reserve, it will die and we will regret it. Because overdevelopment is what kills the reserve. Overgrazing will kill even the conservancies. That model of the conservancies where they coexist with communities, that is the model we support.
This ecosystem faces various threats, which, if not addressed quickly, might lead to irreversible degradation of the wildlife and habitats of this ecosystem.
He called for collaboration between the Mara ecosystem and the government in sharing responsibilities, not only on compensation, but also on finding solutions to the problems facing the Mara.
If there's an incident in a conservancy, conservancy must share responsibility, not government alone. I think this is a dialogue we need. Not necessarily the issue of payment only, but the issue of coming with solutions. Mkiwachia serikali itashindwa na mwinyi mtapata hasara.
We are aware about the unprecedented human population growth that is bringing so much pressure on land. It's leading to land subdivision, privatization, land sales, and other fragmentation such as fencing. And this is what we really hope that the plan is actually going to address such social challenges.
He says the management plan will ensure the park is not only there for tourists to visit, but also benefit the local community. Betty Kiptum, Channel 1 Business.
Sports Arena national boxing team has resumed training in preparation for the upcoming Africa Zone 3 Championship that will be held in Congo, Brazzaville next month. The team, which consists of Captain Nick Okoth and Christine Ongare, who already booked slots for this year's Tokyo Olympic Games, will use the championship to boost their rankings in the African region.
Kenya Hit Squad will be hoping to register exemplary performances after being out of action for a long time due to the outbreak of COVID-19. The team is set to feature in the Africa Zone 3 Championship next month in Congo, Brazzaville.
Ile tunangoja ni hiyo preparation, tumesikia hiyo game iko Zaire. Tumekuwa tunafanya vitu zile mpya zile tumekuwa tufanyagi, unaona? Kama hiyo power exercise.
So ile part ilikuwa inanipatia stress ni sparring. Na sasa hii nishaifanya whereby mimi niko fully ready kucheza vyote, nita give to all my best. Na believe kama ni Congo the same mwenye nilicheza naye ni Senegal, I believe ndio mwenye tutakutana naye na nina imani bado nitampigia hata akiwa kwao.
Meanwhile, the team has expressed its disappointment after the final Olympic boxing qualifier for Tokyo, which had been due to take place in Paris in June, was scrapped.
Ilivunja vijana moral sana, manake katika ile system ambao wamesema watatumia ambayo ni ya ranking, kuna wachezaji wetu wengine ambao ni chipukizi ndio mara ya kwanza walikuwa wanaenda kucheza katika mashindano ya kimataifa. So unaona hiyo inawanyima nafasi ya kuweza kuparticipate kwenye Olimpiki.
53 quota places that would have been available at the World Olympic qualifier will now be assigned based on rankings instead, with the best ranked boxer per region per weight category receiving a Tokyo 2020 berth. Frederick Mwoki for Channel 1 Sports.
Moving on, team managers of qualified Olympic teams have been trained on the Tokyo Games playbook. The training was attended by team managers of Kenya Rugby Sevens men and women boxing, volleyball, women, taekwondo and athletics.
Team managers of qualified Olympic teams including boxing, volleyball, taekwondo and athletics have been trained on the Tokyo Games playbook. The International Olympic Committee, the International Paralympic Committee and Tokyo 2020 Organizing Committee have published playbooks for various groups participating in the Games. The playbooks describe the COVID-19 countermeasures expected to be adhered to during the Games and the role of stakeholders in ensuring safe and successful Games.
These games have released what they are calling the playbook. The playbook is the do's and the don'ts. All are trying to Japan for
the Tokyo Olympics have to understand these rules very clearly, practice these rules, comply with these rules.
Meanwhile, Kenya national basketball team Morans suffered a narrow defeat in their opening match at the Afro-Basket Championship by going down 69-51 to giant Senegal at the Palais Stadium in Yaoundé, Cameroon. Morans went down 21-18 in the first quarter before winning the second quarter 6-13, a first ever quarter win for Kenya against their opponent Senegal. Despite regaining some momentum, Kenya were no match for Senegal in the third and fourth quarters, losing 25-10 and 17-10. Finally, Bandari moved up to 6th position on the Kenya Premier League table on equal points with 5th placed AFC Leopards after Leopards at the Mbaraki Stadium. William Wadri netted a brace for Bandari, who began the game in 10th position, to send them up to 6th position, denying Leopards a 5th unbeaten game. Leopards, who were being led by their new tactician Patrick Osems, netted a consolation through Marvin Nabwire. In the second match played today, Ulinzi Stars defeated Sofapaka 2-0, the 2 goals being netted in the second half by Omar Borafia and Oscar Wamalwa.
Guys, so I'm here negotiating with my producer and my director. My director is a Chelsea fan, Amos. My producer, Jackie Wasolo, is an Arsenal fan. They want me to wind up and not run the match, last night's match, Chelsea and Sociedad. We all know how that went down, 4-0. We all know. We have to wind up. But just before that, I'll go through your feedback. All right, on Facebook, Stephen Otiwa Mwalimu, you tuned in from Migori County. Thank you so much. And then we also had Charles Ngui tuned in from Muthethe. Thank you so much for your feedback. I'm also seeing your feedback on Twitter. William Mwamburi tuned in to Channel 1 Weekend. I appreciate your company. Thank you all for watching. It's time for us to wrap up this bulletin. I'm Purity Museo. Lucy Mora has been a sign language interpreter tonight. Up next is weather forecast. Good night and God bless.
Good evening and a very warm welcome to Channel 1 Weather Updates. My name is Irene Mchuma Odim. Tonight there are showers accompanied by thunderstorms in the county of Kisumu over a few places. This, as the rest of the country, is covered with partly cloudy conditions, save for the northeastern and southeastern lowlands, where there are clear to partly cloudy conditions, and that is how the night will be. Tomorrow, waking up to a sunny day, the whole country will experience sunny intervals during the morning hours. In the afternoon, sunny intervals will continue over most parts of the country, right from the northeastern to the northwestern, the capital and counties around the region. The coastal strip will also experience sunny intervals, but in the evening there is a possibility of wet conditions over a few places in Meru, Nyeri and Nairobi. In the county of Kisumu, there will be showers over a few places, and especially around the lake, and that will be accompanied by thunderstorms. Areas around Kisii, Narok and Kakamega will experience showers accompanied by thunderstorms over a few places during the afternoon hours. The highest temperatures across the country will be experienced in Mandera at 38 degrees Celsius. The capital tomorrow is experiencing highs of 28 degrees Celsius. And for you in Lodwar, expect highs of 37 degrees Celsius. How about you cross the borders and have a look at the international forecast? Good night. See you tomorrow, God willing.
Vera Beauty College. Vera Beauty and Fashion College, with branches in Nairobi, Eldoret, Thika, and Meru. Did you know that we are a TVET-approved institution? We offer courses in fashion design, interior design in soft furnishing, event decoration, flower arrangement, event planning, hairdressing, barbering and dreadlocks, beauty therapy, makeup, nail technology, spa massages, teaching skills, TOT, solo business management, and many more. Register now and visit our website on www.verabeautycollege.com. You can also call on 0725 923 550